Anomaly.
I am an anomaly.
Anomaly.
I am an anomaly.
I am an anomaly.
Anomaly.
An anomaly.
Anomaly. Something that deviates from what is standard, normal, or expected. An oddity, peculiarity, irregularity, inconsistency, incongruity, a rarity.
Hello and welcome to the Anomaly Podcast. I'm Jen. This edition of our show is very different from what we normally do. It's an unedited bonus episode featuring a random fireside chat with friends. I recorded it at the Texas Renaissance Festival in early November of 2018. Because this was recorded on location, you're going to hear a lot of generators in the background. Generators are little portable electricity producers for campers. The English would call them caravans. And they're parked all around our camp. And none of us use them, but there's this constant buzz in the background, which you're going to hear in the recording. And we're passing around a field recorder, so from time to time, someone will be quiet, and I tried to turn them up in the recording, and then they'll get loud and soft and quiet, and you're going to hear people cheering in the background and things like that. It's super loud at Renfest in the campgrounds. It's part of the atmosphere, and maybe it'll give you a taste of what it's like to camp there. The Texas Renaissance Festival, which we often refer to on the show as T-Ren, Renfest, or TRF, is an annual fair located in Todd Mission, Texas. Where the heck is that? It's about 55 miles northwest of Houston. It started in 1974 and touts itself as the largest Renaissance theme park in the United States. The park sits on 55 acres of land covered in tall pines and beautifully themed areas. Each of the 9 weekends of festival also have a different theme, which influences the performances, costumes, and games throughout the grounds. The Texas Renaissance Festival features about 500 costumed actors, 350 shops, and the Queen's Royal Finale, a spectacular fireworks show at dusk, set to live bagpipe music played by one of my favorite bands, Tartanic. Many people camp in the fields around the Texas Renaissance Festival, including our own ragtag band of anomalies. We have attended every year for over a decade, and every year is always a new adventure. If you have any questions about TRF, feel free to send them our way. We know a lot about the fair and have covered it in several videos in the past that I'll share in the show notes for this episode over at anomalypodcast.com. That's ANOMALY podcast.com. Now that you have some background on what the Texas Renaissance Festival is, this episode is less about T-Ren and more about us in the wild being nerds with our friends. In all the years we've been recording Anomaly, lots of listeners have left iTunes reviews or have sent feedback to the show saying that one of the things they love the most about Anomaly is that we make them feel like they're a part of our conversation, like they're one of our friends sitting next to us talking geek. You are! So with that in mind, I recorded a conversation that we had around our fire at our Texas Renaissance Festival camp. You'll hear Angela and I talk again about our raid group rules within our group of friends. It's a conversation from an old Anomaly episode. I'll link to it in the show notes. Be sure to listen to that one. It was fun, and it will include more information on our theory about real-life raid groups. We also talked about what our roles would be in the Star Trek universe. Our conversations always end up in Star Trek. We're not apologizing. The topic then morphed into a debate whether the Star Trek or Star Wars universe would win if the combined factions each faced each other in an epic battle. The voices you'll hear in this conversation, other than our own, belong to our friends Stephanie, Mark, Dave, Chainmail Dave, not my husband, Brad, and a bit of Sith Jen at the end. This is a crazy, unplug, meandering episode. We hope it's a fun diversion that puts a smile on your face. Be sure to listen to our last episode if you're a fan of Doctor Who and or John Barrowman. And stick around for the end of this episode for some fun Star Trek holiday music from our friend Rick Moyer.
Last year, somehow...
No, I have.
I thought
I have
you did.
recorded. I have recorded before.
Because I remember like us talking about something, me and Sarah.
But it made it on the show.
Did
I
it?
thought, yeah.
Okay.
And Renfest passed, like, years and years ago.
Okay.
Because we were talking about our favorite movies.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I understand. Interesting. Well, we were talking about games earlier. What I think is really... See, those same two girls
Yes.
have been through our camp.
Over and over. That is like a violation of Renfest
I
rules.
know, they should know better.
You should walk around camps. So, all right, right now
Excuse me,
we're sitting in the camp at Renfest, and we have
Huzzah!
there's like an
Hooray!
unspoken rule that you walk around camps. You don't go through the
And
middle
we
of
learned
them.
that the hard way.
Yes, but people keep walking through our camps. Amateurs.
Go around, weirdos!
Okay, so what we
That's
were
right.
talking about earlier was like
Well, we were talking about our raid groups, but
Yeah.
it was funny that, like, well, the four of us had always talked about it, but I was surprised that, like, some of our other friends had not been in the conversation or had forgotten. I mean, Jim and I have talked about it, and it's funny because Russell always tells me, "Oh, mommy, you're the tank."
yes.
So you would think that a child would be like, "Oh, daddy's the tank."
Well, I feel like this generation of this conversation is really a little bit more us, but where we are a little bit older.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
us and where we are in relation to how y'all are with your children. I think that makes
Well, that's
a difference
true.
in how your perspective is
But-
and how others see you. And is that, how you are still holding true with how you are with your child.
Oh, my son always knows I have his back, so I'm the rogue and
Well,
ranger.
I mean, I think though that, like, depending on where you are, it does change. Just like your role kind of changes depending on where you are. But I think that you have a core truth, and I think my core truth is definitely tank. But I think and we've talked about this before, that like people misunderstand that tank is like the strongest. Tank is not the strongest. It's just the person who can take the most damage.
Most damage.
And
Attracts attention.
It attracts attention, and it takes the most damage, and that is why we've landed on me for tank, because even though Stephanie's an obvious choice, Stephanie is but you're a better DPS. You're stronger, better DPS.
So
Explain what DPS is for people who aren't gamers.
damage per second. That means, well, how much damage can you do over time? Over damage per second. How much your hit counts every
Yes.
time you hit. How hard you hit when you hit.
And that's going to be the strongest.
Yeah. DPS on an off tank, I'd still come back to that, but it's like in my relationship that I have now, and it depends on who I'm with.
Yes.
So like even in the fair. So like Angela and I, we tank, we off tank, because
we do.
she will tank, I off tank. Whatever
Yeah,
checks
depending
her
on-
mouth right, I can cash them.
Yes, she can. I almost got in a fight today.
No, I know. Well, explain how your tank personalities comes into your everyday reality. How that affects your life being a tank or a DPS.
Well, sometimes it's not good.
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, like in the bathroom today at Ren Fair.
Oh my gosh.
When nobody was like there's supposed to be.
There's an
someone-
order.
Wait
There's
your
order.
turn in
There is
line.
an order to the bathroom situation.
Wait your
At
turn in
Renfest,
line.
yeah.
It's not just the bathroom at the Ren Fair. It's every place
Every
on the
place on
GD
existence.
planet.
And
you
this
wait in
girl,
line.
first of all, a couple other people had gone ahead, but they were so, like, there was a weird discrepancy, so I was like, okay, I guess I get it. But this one girl, it was my turn. It was a legit my turn. And this girl tried to take my stall. And I was, at first, my first thought, like, for a millisecond, I thought to myself, oh my God, I'm just going to let her go. But then I was like, you know what? No. And I looked at her and I said I said, no way, man. I said, man. I said, no way, man. I have been waiting a lot longer than you. And I pulled that door and I slammed it in her face and I got in.
Because that's what tanks do.
And then the weirdest part though, and I probably shouldn't say this on the podcast, but like I was so pissed off I like couldn't go to the bathroom.
I was gonna sit here talking.
Because when your adrenaline gets like that, you're in fight or flight mode.
Yeah.
And your body's like, no, we're fighting, right?
We don't need to pee.
We don't need to pee. We don't need that fight. And it's like, you never know what Angela's going to say. But yeah, that's exactly what happened. And then I got back to the camp and I was relaxed. Then I felt better.
Well, how did DPS support tanks?
So, DPS supports tanks, but in that particular situation, if that lady had said anything to her, I'd be like, ma'am, just back off.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and it would have been like, if there needed physically something to happen, it would be like, do we need to get someone else here to take care of this situation, ma'am, or can you just wait your turn? So.
And that's the thing, is that Stephanie and I spent a lot of time in our lives as tank and off tank.
Yes.
Before we met all you guys.
Yeah.
So,
Times going to the bars at 19,
Yes.
18 years old.
but 20,
20,
21,
21,
22, 20,
so
25.
It's been a while.
We went to Vegas together, too.
That's true.
And that's what we did.
was-
And that's the thing, is
It
you
was a
take care
natural
of each
role
other.
we fell into.
Yes.
I remember being at
Yeah.
Studio 54 with Angela, and Angela was like, I don't want to go, this is so boring, we're waiting in
Oh,
line for a
I'm
club,
such
it's
a terrible
horrible.
person.
Because if you've been to 6th Street in Austin, you don't wait in line to get in clubs, you just get in the clubs most of the time. Well,
Yeah.
that was our experience at least.
In Vegas,
in our,
you have
in
to
our
wait
youth.
in line.
And in Vegas, we had to wait in line because that was the place to be on that particular night. And she was like, no. I was like, you were going to have fun and you're
Yeah.
going to enjoy yourself and you're going to stand here with
She had
us
to
until
kick
we
my
had
ass.
fun. And you know what? We had a blast.
We had so much fun! And we looked so cute.
We did. We were so cute.
Oh, that was so much fun.
See, like I would have tripped the girl on the way to the stall. That's how
Accidentally or on purpose?
on purpose. That's the way rogues roll. Like I wouldn't have said, "Hey, chick, stand in line."
You
If
just
you're
would have
not
been action girl.
I would have just tripped her on the way.
But see, I was also thinking, it's not just about her. It's about all the other people who are
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
cut
yeah.
in line. I was trying to send a message
To the whole group.
to the
Which
whole group.
Which is funny because before this incident happened, at the very beginning of the morning, before Angela had this
Same
fight,
thing.
we were in the restroom again, in the long line of ladies, and the people who are in the bathroom who are like trying to help organize that are encouraging everyone to go to the back where the last toilet is. So as like toilet number 1 opens, someone in the middle line jumps in and I'm like,
Yes.
oh, no.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
oh,
not-
no.
no.
And so I'm standing in the middle, and yes, I'm kind of in line for the bathroom. And I was like, number 1 is open. Who's going to 1? You're next. Get there. Number 5 is open. Go to 5. It just came out.
That's how
7. Go.
There you go.
And I'm standing
That's how
out
it
there,
works.
and I'm immediately orchestrating where the people who are working there are like, oh, this lady's like,
They
voice is
deferred
out
to
there.
you.
Yes, they did, and
Well,
that
one
is
started
one of the things.
challenging your authority.
So that right there became
that was
like.
wrong.
yeah, that was wrong. She should have backed off.
She should have backed off.
It's okay. My voice will be louder, and it'll happen. She'll understand Alpha in this one, but I
Yeah,
can't
then
take
we were done
responsibility
with
for the
that.
whole
They were
world.
like,
but
I'm
all
Luckily,
that-
though, it was just that one because all of the other, it was easy everywhere else.
it was easy everywhere else. That was no big deal. But it was funny that we both had bathroom incidences where we showed our
Tank quality.
taking off.
Well, and it's also about because you're drawing attention so that the people who just want to be they
go
can
pee.
just go.
I
That's
helped
what
everyone.
that's what being the tank is about, is drawing the attention of the people who are a threat to you, so that the other people in your
who
group
just need
can
their
just do
fair turn to go pee.
Yes, because not everyone has that ability or desire to be the center of attention.
Some people will
Because-
grumble about it. Some people will complain about it later.
And some people will just be like,
Passive aggressively.
okay,
And
okay.
some people just
and then they
take
never
it.
get to go to the bathroom. Who wants to be that person?
No.
We help those people.
Yes, we
yes, you do.
Anyway, how are you a rogue?
do. Besides going pee
I
at the
already
Red
said I
Bear.
would have tripped her on the way to the
No,
stall.
but how are you a rogue today? That
How was I
actually
rogue?
happened. Did you rogue today or
I-
recently in life?
Well, we had a couple of people engage us who were drunk, and we didn't want to side boob, and drunk boy who was wearing like the Halloween costume night costume.
yeah.
So I purposely don't make eye contact because I don't want to engage.
Well, you don't want them to
I
see
back off into the shadows, into the corner, and then like David, who is a tank or berserker, he's like in there interacting with them. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Back off! The corner!
talking.
There's a
will talk to
corner.
them, yeah.
There's a corner right here. Get in it. That's how I rolled today.
Oh, I see that.
Look away. Look away.
Well, like last night, observation. The rogue was tired. She went to bed.
yes.
Berserker got to be a little berserker around the bonfire with
did.
the people he doesn't see as often. So he got to be like a little bit noisy, fun, and loudy and stuff. But
Good for him. I came into this world accidentally with my own personal bard.
yeah.
Yes, he's in the
And
corner
that's-
of their
When you
playing.
said came into this world with you accidentally, that made me have some really weird thoughts about your parents, who I know very much probably planned you. So,
They
but I know
did
that's what you're
plan
talking
me.
about.
No, I'm talking about like I came into the camp accidentally several years ago. I found Jim, and Jim is my own personal bar.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have my
That's
Which is
true
great
right
because you
now.
need buffs. When you need buffs,
Yeah.
you gotta
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
bar
yeah.
now. Huzzah! Huzzah! The campsite.
Jen entered the camp.
Jen.
Hello, the camp.
Hello, the camp.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes
Jen.
the healer needs taken care of, and in this particular situation, our
So,
healer
but,
needed some taken care of.
yeah.
What about our like neutral chaotic
Hey, what is that called? It's not a class. Alignment.
alignment?
Thank you.
So, we can talk about alignment.
Yes.
Alignment. I have always considered myself, honestly, a true neutral, but I don't think that's true. I think that I am a chaotic good.
I agree.
Neutral
I
good.
agree.
You think I'm a neutral good?
No,
I think I'm a chaotic
Mark,
good.
our friend Mark is neutral good. You're chaotic good. Angel's chaotic
I think
good.
I'm a chaotic good. I think Bart is a chaotic neutral.
I
'Cause he's
can't-
not evil.
Brad's
but he's
chaotic.
neutral.
Brad's chaotic evil.
What are you though? Chaotic.
I don't know. What am I?
You're good.
I am good.
Neutral good.
Absolutely.
I might be a chaotic good too.
I'm not chaotic good. I do like order more, and I'm not neutral good
You're
because
neutral good.
She's not
How am I
lawful.
neutral good? I'm not lawful. Lawful evil is Darth Vader.
That's
Sorry.
we're not saying that you're lawful.
Good as Captain America.
Lawful
Yeah, but-
good is Captain America. Lawful evil is Darth Vader.
I definitely have settled on chaotic good.
What am I? Because I don't think
You're
I
good.
always follow the letter of the law.
You're
You're a
definitely
lawful
more neutral.
good.
I can't follow the
Yeah,
letter of the
but
law though, because I sometimes go
But you
against
are
the law.
more letter of the
For
law than
what I
anyone
feel
else in
is
this
more-
group.
You really are.
You are more. You follow the letter of the law more than anyone else in this group. You may be a rogue, but you are lawful good.
Damn it!
You are.
Lawful good. There's nothing wrong with lawful good.
That's okay. That's okay.
I might be unlawful
David,
good.
David might be lawful good too.
Unlawful good
That's-
because I do
you
not
and
follow
I-
the letter of the law.
you and
I
I-
speed.
No, but you don't go out of your way to break
You and
the
I,
law.
yeah, but
I
we're
ask forgiveness,
chaotic
not
good.
permission.
We can be chaotic good
All right, fine.
together.
Like
I
if
don't know.
no one's looking, it's okay to break the, to not stop for the stop sign.
And Brad is. He's take off tank with me. When he and I are together, it's a matter of I'm more tank and he's off tank at that point.
That's fair.
Yeah. Dave is a berserker.
He heals me.
Yeah,
He is.
yeah. That's why I have my own
Berserker.
bard.
You have a bard, yeah.
But he's also a healer.
He is. That's true.
But Brad is chaotic evil because when we were very first cosplaying
Wow,
Jedi's,
That's like a
no
whole
Jedi's,
thing.
and Comic Con, and we're
gained
sitting
upper
there,
hand.
and he did. We're sitting there, we're battling with our lightsabers, and we're having fun, both dressed as Jedi. And he turns and he force killed an innocent bystander. It's like, ha 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 ha! And I
An
was like,
innocent chick dressed in her Star Wars stuff, and I was like, she was like, oh, and she's like, oh, you killed someone. I was like, then this other little girl like comes at me, and I'm like, ah. And she's like,
That's a chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
I just killed an innocent.
he
to gain
dresses
the
as a
upper hand in
Jedi,
our
but he
current
is
battle.
Sith.
That's
He's
Mal. That's Mal. That's a
Yeah.
chaotic neutral.
Yeah, fine,
Yeah.
fine. Chaotic
What about you,
evil.
Dave?
What are you, Dave?
David is good. I would say like a neutral good.
Neutral good.
It says that lawful characters tell the truth, keep their word, respect
It was also-
authority, honor tradition,
also very
and judge those
satisfying.
who fall short of their duties. Chaotic characters follow their consciences, resent being told what to do,
Okay.
favor new ideas over tradition, and do what they promise if they feel like it.
I'm in
That-
between lawful and chaotic.
Well, then neutral.
Yeah,
Neutral good.
neutral good.
But I'm not good. I'm neutral.
Yeah. You're a true neutral.
Chaotic
Neutral doesn't really care much about it.
No, that's just super
So that'd be a neutral.
I hate being told what to do.
So do I.
I think maybe you're a neutral good.
I think so too.
Okay, you can be a
Because I
neutral
like
good.
to go either way. Because sometimes I go against the law.
because I don't believe in what they say.
That's your judging those who fall short.
Yes.
That would make you waffle.
I really like to judge people, though.
You do.
I very much enjoy that.
I enjoy judging too.
I like to judge people.
I think that just comes with time.
I don't judge them, I prejudge. And as long as you live up to my expectations, everything's fine.
That's awesome. Well, so we were expanding our raid group idea because we have more than just the 4 of us.
Yeah.
And we have more tanks. We have more DPS.
Tanks are always necessary.
Yeah. Well, you go from just because a raid group is actually a giant group, and that's who we all are. We are more like a
Giant group.
extended. The 4 of us is just a traveling party, really.
Yeah.
And then our big group,
Raid group.
is our actual raid group. We have a combination, but it's still a very balanced combination, right?
Yes, I agree.
People play different roles.
Right. And when we were talking to Mark earlier, Mark is also one of our leaders, as far as I'm concerned. And because I said that, it's true.
Tank.
Yeah, there you go.
Mark, what are you?
Honestly, I've been DPS most of the time, but it's very easy to switch gears when people need something done. So that's what you do.
Mark is like a general, like, I feel like you have always been there. When anyone needs anything, you will be there. And we don't see you on every outing and every time we do stuff, but it's like, this is that guaranteed time. Mark will be there. He will.
Yep.
We will see him. Mark and Margaret.
And I'm so glad for that.
And it's like, talk about like the always prepared. We can sign up for things in our website ahead of time of who's going to bring what.
And
when
I
you're gonna
really
get here,
try
all
very
that
hard
happens.
to make
And Mark is like, I'm here before anybody else, and I've got everything. Anyone needs the thing.
Well,
I
and
got
we
them.
know that, like, that one year you guys didn't come, we were all like, ah! Who's bringing the things? I have to bring something. Who's making coffee? Why is there no coffee?
Yep.
But I got heels from Dave today.
How's that? What happened?
I got a little too close to a fire, and I got burned. I'm okay.
That's right.
But I got some heels, so I'm alright.
And it's funny because Dave offered healing, Duchesne offered healing, and the Jinn offered healing. So we had like boom, 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 boom. So that's part of what the raid group does. It may not be your main job, but you know, you pick up the slack if you're needed.
That's really true.
Obviously, the rogue was nowhere to be found.
Exactly. I don't remember
Shadow
you at
hide
all.
me.
You would say, shadow hide.
So, and like I was, we were talking about Margaret earlier. Margaret being Mark's partner in life is
Partner.
like, yeah,
Sorry.
partner.
It's
wife.
true, wife.
Sorry, but yeah, but I was thinking like in the raid group partners is I guess. Is
Yes, that's fair.
So that Margaret is like I was like she's like rogue.
Yes.
Because Margaret is like rogue extraordinaire when she plays, but I was like, you cannot find Margaret when she doesn't have a book in her hand, and she can function in most any occupation while reading as well. And so I was like, gosh, I could see Margaret as like the warlock, like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, don't look close at her. You're like, oh my god, why am I dying? Oh, Margaret! God damn it, she got me.
She turned me into a toad.
Yes. So, but she's very quiet, very sneaky. Except, so like, don't
I
ever
like
cross
that.
her. So yes, absolutely rogue, but I'm like, the evil bag of tricks.
I can see that.
So in the best of ways.
But that's why it works with all of us crazy makers in the front.
Yeah. So speak of crazy makers in the front, then you have Carissa, sweet innocent Carissa. Oh no,
Rogue. She's also a rogue.
Yeah.
Why do we have so many rogues?
You need
Yeah,
us.
I see.
Come on, you need us.
No, when I see Carissa, she might be rogue, but I also see a little bit of like distance. I get the ranger. She does not.
Ranger.
She will not be the front row at all.
No.
But my gosh, have you ever seen that woman dress? It's those golds, the fall greens, the colors she wears all the time. Occasionally she gets into the red, the burgundy red. But she goes with the goldenrod like no one I've ever seen. And she will definitely zinger Bart even. But
Good.
only when she puts him in his place, and it's typically not right in his face. It's not something necessarily done in front of everyone, but boom, she can do damage from a distance. So, which I consider a subtle art. Because
That's
even
true.
I'm not aware of all of her skills. I've heard about them.
Well, we shouldn't be. That's kind of not our business. Our business is just to take all of the aggro. So that everybody else can do what they need to do.
But Margaret drew aggro today. With the guy that I was telling you about, like, I blended into the shadows, like, I was like, okay.
Which guy was this?
There's a drunk guy that came up
Drunk
to
guy
us.
and side boob. That's what
Yeah.
she said.
Oh, side boob!
Side boob and drunk guy. They came
I
up
couldn't
to us.
stop looking at it!
He was like, you dropped your pocket to Dave, and Dave's like, what?
She came back after you left.
Yeah, David dropped.
Oh!
Yeah.
Side boob.
Both of those guys, Dave and
Where was
Margaret,
this?
drew
When was
aggro.
this?
At the, what's the name of the pub we met at? The
Prince Wales.
Prince
Oh,
Wales,
The
yeah.
Prince of Wales.
Yeah. He just came up, and I was like, you made eye contact. Do not make eye contact.
Do not engage! Do not engage!
Yeah. And I engage.
You always do!
Not always. I've gotten better.
Yeah, David kept talking
That's
to
the
him. I was like,
problem.
ignore.
Is that the
ignore.
high DPS people engage when they shouldn't.
David always talks back. I
Tanks.
just ignore.
Tanks know better.
They lose interest and they walk away if you don't talk back.
That's
what I
true.
do.
But sometimes you stare blankly at people and it's off-putting.
Just like, you're not talking to me, right? I am invisible. You cannot see me.
You can't see me.
Intimidate them and they'll leave me alone.
Yeah, that
See,
works
but you
too.
have that option. We don't have that option.
The staring down.
David
That's
has
a
a
thing.
really good blank stare too, though.
That's the
true.
No, it's the smirk.
I
it's
look
the eye.
too
It's like,
friendly.
do I?
I look
Tanks.
very friendly.
Tanks have that quality, though.
We do. I look very friendly. I'm not.
Maybe that was David's thing because he's a tank also.
Dave
Wait, is
does.
a berserker a tank?
Yeah, well, a berserker's more
Because
DPS.
Aaron is a berserker too.
That's more
I'm
DPS,
surrounded
but they
by
can
berserkers.
kind of. It's
I
an
can
off
definitely
tank.
see that your son would.
Yeah,
Aaron is
berserker.
also, my sister's a berserker also.
I consider my sister a berserker. She's kind of a healer too. I don't know. I go back and forth on my sister.
Yeah.
Your sister's a hunter,
Yeah. She's
and she's an
literally
animal
a bow
creep-
hunter.
and she's also an animal keeper.
Yeah, she is. Like that.
She
gets
will
the
sick
hunter.
her animals on you.
Dude, she turned
My
her
sister is,
husband's own hunting dogs against him at her will when she wants to. They listen to her more than they listen to him.
I believe that.
Yeah,
That's
like,
her
he's
power.
I
Yeah,
love
she's
it.
like got the cats and the dogs all living together in their small little house, and they listen to her. All of them listen.
I
to her.
believe that.
But she
I
was-
have known her since she was a little bitty
Yeah,
baby.
she was the child that when she was a toddler, she went to like the park and the squirrels were eating out of her hand.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
she
they
was
just, like-
always like that.
But
That's always been.
they're not tame squirrels. Just
No, just the squirrel. I
Random
know. I remember that.
yeah, she's an animal whisperer in her own way.
She's.
Oh, and Brad's a dog whisperer. Gosh, he gets along with all the dogs. So
Not me.
I command plants.
You do command plants,
Yes.
which brings me to the next thing,
What?
which is we were
Poisons.
talking about.
Rogan poisons.
I dazzled you
Broken
today.
poison.
I dazzled you today with our Star Trek conversation.
Yes, we were talking about what jobs we would have in Starfleet.
Like if we were actually in the Starfleet
Yes.
universe.
I would be in the red shirt for fun.
no, you
No,
wouldn't.
no,
You'd be
no. We're talking
security.
about for real.
Security.
Yeah.
And we're in
Security.
TNG kind of
That's
era.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Red Shirt in the original.
That's what I was gonna say. Red shirt in the original, and
Yeah.
and Orville. I love the security detail in Orville.
Oh, you would be security. Would be great.
You would.
Yeah, I would.
You would be
totally.
great at security. I would definitely want to have a
maybe not.
command. Or maybe I would be operation.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind that because people in command are always very annoying. So I would probably prefer to be in operations or engineering actually. Anyway, but I dazzled you. What did I say?
I was lightning.
You gave me a
Oh, yeah.
messenger bag, which was medical blue.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, this is so awesome. I love it. And you were like, well, I already made my decision on what you would be in the Star Trek universe. Because I was like,
Well, you said you don't think you could be a
like,
scientist.
if I was medical officer, I would just be passing instruments to the chief medical officer during surgery.
Yes.
Because I have no medical skill.
Right.
I was
And
like,
being a
what would I
doctor?
be in the science
Well,
if
see,
I was in science? What would I be? And I did study archaeology in college, so there's that. But Angela's like,
You wouldn't
No,
want this.
I
ceremony.
know.
be terraforming.
I told her she would be terraforming, and I think in that in that universe, that's exactly what you would be
That's
doing.
exactly what I would be doing because I
Yeah.
am a plant master.
You are a plant master, and I think you could make, if that technology existed,
Oh yeah,
that you would be
I
able to
love it.
make plants grow
I'd be in
from
charge
nothing.
of people terraforming.
Yeah.
That was my thing.
I think
I
that'd be
agree.
great.
Because
I
and
agree.
I definitely see that because you see in all the different Star Trek shows, the scientists involved in terraforming are kind of like side characters in the side shows.
No.
They don't have a main
But
role.
in the
Whereas
real-
the Doctor actually is a main role. Like,
It
and you
doesn't
don't want to be in the
matter.
front scene. You don't want to be in the spotlight, and he's put in the spotlight a lot.
I kind of do. That's the
But if
weird
we
thing,
did
though.
do a show about the terraforming, then Jen would be in it. But like, let's pretend just that like the whole universe exists, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the whole point of this like exercise.
In a real world.
So
not
where
a
would
show.
you be in that universe? And the thing is, like, I mean, I think you're right. I don't know that I'd be in command as much as operations.
Like, if you want to go Discovery,
Maybe
you'd
I'd be an
definitely in
excellent
charge of
chief.
You would be
keeping
an
the
awesome in Data's
spores
role
alive.
on the Enterprise, kind of.
Oh yeah!
Because Data was in ops.
Yes! Oh, I want to be an ops.
Like, Uhura.
Even though red's my favorite color,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think ops would be good for me.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I would be in charge no matter what, whether I was like in science or what. I'd be in charge of the other scientists.
You're in charge
I
of
do think
keeping all the
Stephanie would
spores
be.
alive.
I like collecting people.
I think Stephanie would be a good security officer.
You would.
In her
Anyways,
sparkly
so
purse.
and we also did deflection, and I totally got in. But the point being, because I didn't want to go back to the campsite and drop it off. The point being that I've actually been told by people who know me not as well in the Ren Fair that it wouldn't be you if you didn't have a weapon on you somewhere, Stephanie.
That's
and,
true.
Well, you know, I typically will carry a short sword, sometimes a flail, even if it's a buddy for a flail, but it
That's
doesn't
my point.
matter.
Security.
So there's the one that you see, and then there's
Tasha
the
Yar.
knowledge that
Tasha
you
Yar.
know you can kill people with.
Mark, you're a Picard.
And the only reason why is because where I excel is basically coming up with procedures
Yeah.
and
I like that
System.
too.
trying to help people get things done.
I like that.
Yeah. And we all naturally follow your orders.
Oh,
We do.
It's because they don't feel like orders.
Because we love you. It's like everyone
and I'm
loves
the
Picard.
only person that does not see this at all.
That's why you should be.
Yeah.
That's why it's a Picard kind of situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
You deserve
That's
the
why
position.
I could be number one.
What about Dave?
I'll be your number one.
Okay. High five.
Dave, what do you think? What position would you be on a Starfleet vessel?
In command.
In command?
I'm a
Number
Leo.
one?
I'm a, yeah, probably number one.
Yeah. I see it. I can see it.
I'll be command
But
role.
do you throw your... Here's the real question. Can you throw your leg over a chair when you sit down?
Right.
Do you...
That's the only way you can be Riker.
So that's like, it's Iron Wolf David, and then Dave, and then there's like your husband David too.
There's only two
Security,
Daves.
or engineering. He can
Well,
fix
Jim would
anything.
be. My husband would be engineering.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is Geordie all the way.
That's true.
And he just
That would
wants
be
to
the
be
other
in the engine. He doesn't care about anything else that's going on. He just wants to work on it. He just wants to work on the problem. That's it.
True.
That's it. Yeah. Oh, that's definitely Jim.
I think Dave would be, even though Dave can fix anything, he probably would be a technician of some sort or security.
He could be. He could be Dave in the brig. He's war. But no, do you remember the joke about Dave on the brig?
No, what?
Because there's always that guy whenever there's like a brig episode where somebody's in the brig.
Oh,
there's always
okay.
a guy like at the control. Who is that guy?
Oh, that guy.
Who's
that's
that guy?
standing there.
There's a guy standing there in
That's
the
a
brig.
that's a really boring
Somebody
job.
has a job there. That's Dave in the brig.
Chief O'Brien. He's the Chief O'Brien of our group.
Who is?
Dave.
Oh, okay, Dave could be Chief
Yes.
O'Brien. I'm
I
cool
see
with that.
him as O'Brien.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Brad.
He's
and he would
tactical.
probably be on the computer somewhere. But I like.
He could be in engineering with Jim. There you go.
He's like the Will Wheaton.
Is he Chief Argyle? Chief Argyle. Do you remember him? Who came before Jordan?
Wow, I do remember that. But I also remember Miss Adorable Gomez. Do you remember her?
I love her. So what was her
aw.
name? Was Sonia?
Sonia Gomez.
Yes. What happened
She's
to
so
her?
cute.
She died in one of the books I read.
Oh!
They offed her.
Spoiler!
Oh,
That's terrible. We have a doctor, though.
Well, we do.
Jen's our doctor.
Jen is our chief medical officer.
Not today. It's cool. So it's
Y'all
gonna.
have drifted
More of the
straight
Hollow
into
Doctor.
the TNG universe.
That's
Oh,
how
we always
that
go
happens
there.
to us
Yes.
We never-
every single time.
We never talk about
No matter where we
yeah.
start, we always end up in TNG.
Because I kind of
It's
see
not
her as
our
a
fault.
Robert Picardo kind of character.
You're right.
Who?
She is. She's the doctor
Yes,
on
she's the pissed off
Voyager.
doctor.
Yes.
He's
No,
just
she's
slightly
just-
annoyed.
Too
There's
much
what's right.
snark.
There's what's right. You know.
But she's also kind of slightly
That's why I
annoyed that
said
she has
the
to
Hollow
help you.
Doctor.
Yes.
It's like,
There you go.
why can't you solve this yourself? Okay, fine. I'll save your life. Great. No, I agree.
That's true.
He's great, though.
He is wonderful.
That was good call. Good call.
Yes.
I like it.
Agreed.
She's an emergency medical hologram.
Yep.
And I did have a conversation to bring it like even more full circle. Russell and I have had several fights about who would win, Star Trek, Star Wars, and I'm like, Star Trek.
Every time. Sorry.
And he's like, but what if? And I'm like, Star
No.
Trek.
Star Trek.
And he's like, but the Force. And I'm like, Q. And he's like, but what if not? And I'm like, no, I don't. I'm sorry. And I'm not saying.
Why do we have to fight?
And I said, I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm just saying, if you want to bring this in, you got to set up your parameters. And if your parameter's the Force, then I get to use Q. If we get to use Force, I get to use Q. Those are the parameters.
Change reality.
So if you don't want to use the Force and you just want to say hand-to-hand combat, we can have that conversation.
I never saw Palpatine zap anybody into the future or
No.
an alternate universe.
No.
So,
Nope.
sorry.
Y'all are picking fights.
Well, no, it's just Russell picking fights with me, which is hilarious. But the thing is but he's studied the Star Wars universe and the ships and everything more than he doesn't have as much information about the Star Trek ships. So, but he found that book because we've been moving. He found the book you gave me about all the Star Trek stuff. So he has been reading that.
I think that if you took out the mystic part, the Q and the Force
Okay,
side,
take that out.
Star Wars.
Oh, please explain. Technology only.
Technology, quantity of
Okay.
ships between the Star Destroyers, the Super Star
Well, it's a
Destroyers.
galactic civilization, so you're probably right.
Let's look at Star Trek. It's based on exploration of the universe, not on conquering or battles, where Star Wars is based on
Conquering and battles.
conquering,
Yeah, you're right.
fighting.
Well,
I mean, it's
but-
not supposed to be that way because it's about the rebels and the.
But if you're taking
Empire.
full universe against full universe, you have to consider Romulans, Klingons, Borg.
Right.
But yeah, but if you went just the Empire versus one faction,
Okay,
I would love to see the Empire go against the Borg.
that would be interesting.
that would be interesting, Russell.
Never bring a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah,
That's just not going to work.
but it also kind of depends on like which version Borg, right? Because like I kind of like my
early
Borg.
Borg.
I
Early
like
Borg.
early Borg, the ones who actually abducted Locutus, whole thing. When you get into First Contact, even though I love that movie, and you get into this whole like Borg Queen situation, I'm like, but you've lost me. But that's the great thing about the Borg from the early situation was that they were this sort of ununderstandable hive. And that's what made them creepy and scary and interesting.
No concept of
No
individuality.
concept of
Death Star versus a Borg.
drones. What?
Death Star versus a Borg cube.
Death Star versus a Borg cube.
You're looking at.
Okay, no. This is the thing. I've had
And
this
the original
conversation.
Clone stormtroopers were not necessarily independent thinkers. That was what made.
Well, they
Well,
were
that's
if you look
true.
at the animated series.
No. But see, this is the thing. I like that. I like that.
true.
First of all, the Borg cube is not as big, so that would be a disadvantage. However,
They can just zap a bunch of Borgs on
I
your
know.
ship and it's
they don't have transporter technology in Star Wars. I have not seen transporter technology, and that transporter technology, and also you can transport like a photon torpedo right into the.
Didn't they do that in Discovery? Like, yes, finally somebody transported a photon torpedo onto a ship. Finally.
Well, the other part too is that like they can scan for weakness,
Yeah.
and also they can transport and start assimilating people. They do have shields, But
they've
what kind of
never
shields?
exactly. They've never shown whether or not that's something, because they don't have transporter technology, whether that's able to go through
Well,
it.
but remember, the Borg's shields can adapt. So you would think that their firing mechanisms can adapt as well.
You would think, but you don't know.
You don't know.
But we also don't know exactly how powerful the tractor beam that the Death Star has too, and whether or not they could hold the Borg cube.
Well, you're going to take that whole Borg cube with all those Borg in there?
Well, no, you
Why
wouldn't
would you want to?
You would not. It'd be like, oh, well,
But if
let's
you
get
use
all of these roaches right into my house.
But if you used it to hold
That
it
won't end
in
well.
position versus bringing it in
Yeah.
and lock it in place, where
I just haven't seen them try to do that, so I don't know.
That's an interesting battle.
That's
Yes, it would be-
interesting. I like
The Borg
it. I like
have
where this-
conquered how many different species?
All of them.
all
Yeah,
of them.
Just about all
Except
of them.
the
So.
humans.
But also remember, they did. Guinan's species was said to be very powerful,
They annihilated most
and
of
they annihilated them. So you can take that into account. Oh, I like this conversation. Good. Did y'all ever decide if there was one-man fighters in Star Trek?
I
They're
think
shuttles.
that we decided that there were strike forces.
Okay.
They were training academy cadets in Starfighter.
Right. The episode.
The unit that Wesley was a part of.
Yes, where
Flew
if
one
Troy was
man.
randomly on vacation when everybody was lying.
Yeah. So there's that. I don't know.
No, that's fair though. Is that was an episode, so they were obviously training one-man star
Yeah.
fighters, but you don't see them like anywhere in Star Trek. So I don't know.
We don't need them. We just tractor beam and
We just
photon torpedo.
photon torpedo everything. Anyway,
everything.
and if it really comes down to it, you can cloak.
It's illegal technology.
I know,
Starfleet.
but if you're fighting,
Which is bunk. I don't know why, because the Romulans and the Klingons always misuse.
but there is cloaking technology in Star Wars though. So if they were going head to, isn't there? And I think if they were, I think if you're looking, just because it's illegal, it doesn't matter. I mean, if you're going fight for fight, it doesn't matter. You can use cloaking technology against the Star Wars people. You have the technology, you can use it. Who cares about the Prime Directive? Screw the Prime Directive in this situation. You're dealing with Emperor Palpatine.
That's true. The Prime Directive got in the way a lot.
And no one ever followed it.
No.
However,
especially
there has
Janeway.
been some math done, and evidently Kirk followed the Prime Directive more than Picard did. Been some sort of
Interesting.
study, and they counted the times. And I don't know that there was there a Prime Directive.
not in the-
In TOS, there wasn't.
No.
But as far as like violating, I don't think it was Prime Directive, but just violating like Starfleet code. Picard violated Starfleet code way more.
Well, they had a lot more years.
They did. That's true. That's true. Okay,
But
fair
Janeway
enough.
did it a lot more than Picard.
Yeah, but she was rogue.
Yeah.
She was out in the middle of.
But she's like, let's get
space.
home. Oh, cool, civilization. Let's go check it out. But everyone's like, can we go home, please? And she's like, but there's this. And everyone takes
She's an explorer at
detour.
heart. That's who she is.
Indeed.
So Jen, it's gonna rain a lot tonight. I'm just saying. I know, that's what we're gonna do.
You think so?
She's not worried about
We
water.
actually
That's her
check
thing.
I know.
Our technology.
I'm just
and
blaming
know.
her.
It's gonna rain a lot tonight because you drank a lot.
All day, and I started yesterday.
I'm seeing a little lightning to this.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to like lightning, thunder, all the things. We've already started.
Is the wind going to be really, really high?
Not too bad. But
No, the wind's not gonna be too bad.
Okay,
but
well,
it's gonna be lightning.
As long as the lightning doesn't strike
there's
my
gonna be
tent.
thunder,
Well,
lightning, and the thunder.
It goes
Thunder,
60, 80,
thunder.
90, 100, and then 80, 60 again. So
Yeah.
that's from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. So 7 a.m. it might still be raining.
Oh, I'm just gonna stay in the Tahoe until it stops raining, and then we.
Yeah, I've heard only till like 8 a.m. So that would be really nice that I could just throw wet things and
Then we
not
throw
get wet.
things, and then we
Right,
go
that's
get breakfast.
Yeah.
Where are we going to get breakfast?
We
Someplace
will
good.
decide. before we go to sleep. I'm not joking. I think it's a great idea.
I love it. I love it.
What was that one place in Magnolia we went? A bazillion years
I've
back.
still got bagels, so there's some non.
No, we're saying like if it's so raining that we just want to get out.
Yeah.
That we get out and go have breakfast somewhere.
We'll just
Magnolia
go
Cafe.
sit down.
Yeah,
someplace.
Magnolia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Magnolia Cafe, which is towards the Houston side, but not by much.
No.
It's okay.
And,
That's all right.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
They would be, and they have good breakfast from childhood memory.
You and I went there.
Yes, we did.
Are they as good as the Blue Bonnet Cafe?
I have never been to the Blue Bonnet. Gosh, it's awesome.
They have the best pies ever.
Well, there's Magnolia Cafe in Austin is very good as well.
Different.
I'm liking that it's not as cold as it was last night.
cold last night.
It was
About
cold.
this time.
For the first time in forever, everyone was like, I like milk here, but I want to.
I know, I'm gonna get it. I burned myself.
I hope you enjoyed our Renfest campfire chat. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and Happy Holidays to you. Thank you so much for being Anomaly subscribers. We love you all, and we'll be back soon with a fresh new Anomaly in 2019. To celebrate, I'll leave you with a few of my favorite songs from Merry Treckmas, recorded by my good friend Rick Moyer. They are Have Yourself a Hairy Little Creature, We Wharf You a Merry Christmas, I'll Be Home on Voyager, and The 12 Days of Starfleet. You can find his parody songs, including this album, over at christrocks.com/parody. Would you do us a favor? Tell your friends about Anomaly and help us grow our audience by rating our show in the Apple Podcast app. You can write to Anomaly at girlygeeks@gmail.com. That's girlygeeks with a Z @gmail.com. Send us a voice memo at that address or call our voicemail line at 432-363-4742.
Have yourself a hairy little creature. Let your tribbles mate. From now on, that purr will make you feel real great. Have yourself a hairy little creature. There's no eyes or ears. Tribbles keep on giving all throughout the years. Oh, here they are, just a ball of fur, not a him or her, just it. Klingons hate, but they are great. A must-have on my Christmas list. Through the years, they multiply together as the Quadrotriticale allows. Hang your tribble on the highest star base somehow. And have yourself a hairy little creature now. Here they are, just a ball of fur, not a him or her, just it. Klingons hate, but hey, they're great. A must-have on my Christmas list. Through the years, they multiply together as the Quadro Triticale allows. Hang your tribble on the highest star base somehow, and have yourself a hairy little creature now.
Friend, you pig! The child put the tribble in the oven! You see his scar on his butt.
We wharf you a Merry Christmas. We wharf you a Merry Christmas. We wharf you a Merry Christmas and a Kapla New Year. Oh, bring us some roquette blood pie. Oh, bring us some roquette blood pie. Oh, bring us some roquette blood pie and a side of fresh gawk. Gawk is always best when served live. We'll all go before the council. We'll all go before the council. We'll all go before the council and petition the chancellor. Oh, bring us the sword of Caelus. Oh, bring us the sword of Caelus. Oh, bring us the sword of Caelus and a Klingon dagger. We won't go till we get vengeance. We won't go till we get vengeance. We won't go till we get vengeance. And our blood oath is done. A bat'leth we bring to you and your house. A bat'leth with blood wine and a Kapla New Year. We wharf you a Merry Christmas. We wharf you a Merry Christmas. We wharf you a Merry Christmas and a Kapla New Year. We wharf you a Merry Christmas. We wharf you a Merry Christmas. We wharf you a Merry Christmas and a Kapla New Year. We wharf you a Merry Christmas and a Kapla New Year.
We're alone in an uncharted part of the galaxy. We've already made some friends here and some enemies. We have no idea of the dangers we're going to face. But one thing is clear. Both crews are going to have to work together if we're to survive.
I'll be home on Voyager. From the Delta Quadrant, I'll try. Please have friends and let's make amends, and fireworks above the bridge in the sky. Reginald will find us through subspace wormhole things. I'll be home on Voyager, if only in my dreams.
Somewhere along this journey, we'll find a way back. Mr. Paris, set a course for home.
minus that Neelix sky. We left him on an asteroid field with a lady friend that caught his eye. Starfleet ships will find us breaking from transwarp. I'll be home on Voyager, if only in my dreams. I'll be home on Voyager, if only in my dreams. On the first day of Christmas, Starfleet gave to me an honorary Academy degree. On the second day of Christmas, Starfleet gave to me 2 dilithium crystals and an honorary Academy degree. On the third day of Christmas, Starfleet gave to me 3 holodeck visits, 2 dilithium crystals, and an honorary Academy degree. On the fourth day of Christmas, Starfleet gave to me 4 hats like Guinan's, 3 holodeck visits, 2 dilithium crystals, and an honorary Academy degree. On the fifth day of Christmas, Starfleet gave to me 5 huge pack legs,
Things that make us go.
4 hats like Guinan's, 3 holodeck visits, 2 dilithium crystals, and an honorary Academy degree. On the 6th day of Christmas, Starfleet gave to me 6 Type A phasers, 5 huge pack legs.
Can you make it go?
4 hats like Guinan's, 3 holodeck visits, 2 dilithium crystals, and an honorary Academy degree. On the 7th day of Christmas, Starfleet gave to me 7 replicators, 6 Type A phasers, 5 huge pack legs.
He is smart.
4 hats like Guinan's, 3 holodeck visits, 2 dilithium crystals, and an honorary Academy degree. On the 8th day of Christmas, Starfleet gave to me 8 Ractogenos, 7 replicators, 6 Type A phasers, 5 huge pack legs.
We like power.
4 hats like Guinan's, 3 holodeck visits, 2 dilithium crystals, and an honorary Academy degree. On the 9th day of Christmas, Starfleet gave to me 9 Vulcan mind melts, 8 Ractogenos, 7 replicators, 6 Type A phasers, 5 huge pack legs.
We are far from home.
4 hats like Guinan's, 3 holodeck visits, 2 dilithium crystals, and an honorary Academy degree. On the 10th day of Christmas, Starfleet gave to me 10 chocolate sundaes, 9 Vulcan mind melts, 8 Ractogenos, 7 replicators, 6 Type A phasers, 5 huge pack legs.
We are not smart.
4 hats like Guinan's, 3 holodeck visits, 2 dilithium crystals, and an honorary Academy degree. On the 11th day of Christmas, Starfleet gave to me 11 batless swinging, 10 chocolate sundaes, 9 Vulcan mind melts, 8 Ractogenos, 7 replicators, 6 Type A phasers, 5 huge pack legs.
We are not strong.
4 hats like Guinan's, 3 holodeck visits, 2 dilithium crystals, and an honorary Academy degree. On the 12th day of Christmas, Starfleet gave to me 12 space-time continuums, 11 batless swinging, 10 chocolate sundaes, 9 Vulcan mind melts, 8 Ractogenos, 7 replicators, 6 Type A phasers, 5 huge
Our ship is the Mondor.
Hats like Guinans 3, holodeck physics 2, perfume crystals, and an honorary academy.